Most people don't know that I wasn't always in that position. There was times where things weren't going very well. Health was crippling, a lot of uncertainty in life, confidence low. And we're not talking about anything to do with the leukemia. This was way before, it was 10 years before all that. Had I known what I know now back then, the first thing that I would say is what I always say in the videos.
You have like 50 saunas inside of all of the places that you go. You got a sauna here, a sauna there, you got a sauna in the damn background of this video. If you had to get rid of every single sauna, which sauna are you choosing to keep forever? It's only one. And why is it that sauna?
Oh, man, that's the hardest question you could ask me. I try to focus on like what's right for you. So when you asked me that, my brain immediately went to, well, where am I gonna be? Because if I move to Maine permanently, I'm gonna make a different choice than if I stayed in Florida. And then where is it, like, am I gonna stay in the same house or is it gonna be a different house? Because if it's a different house and there's some unknowns, I'm probably gonna choose a sauna like the one that's behind me. It's a little bigger than a one person, so I can like move around and not be shoulder to shoulder. Still works on a 15 amp circuit. So if I have uncertainty about electrical or where I'm gonna be, or let's say I wanna put it in a master bedroom or a spare bedroom or a bathroom renovation or something like that, I don't have to worry about electrical needs as much. It's very versatile. If you told me that I was gonna be in Maine permanently in the basement where I have a power panel down there and I can drop a 20 or 30 amp circuit for like $200 and it's not gonna cost me $4,000 to upgrade the electrical, I'm probably going with something bigger, like a Radiant Health 2.5 or a Heavenly Heat 3-person. I like both of those because I can really stretch out. I can put my legs on the bench and completely stretch out in those. And then if a spouse or something wants to use it with you, you're like super comfortable and you're not on top of each other side by side. You still have a little space in between for towels and drinks. And it's the same thing I say in all the videos. But if I'm in my forever place, I'm probably gonna do that because you're only talking about a couple $1,000 difference. In 10 years from now, if I get more enjoyment out of it, I'm probably not gonna care about the $2,000. I'm gonna care about like it matching my space, being exactly what I want. Yeah, just to clarify, if we're talking about I have unlimited space, unlimited power, I've got a basement gym or something like that, like in Maine, I'm gonna go with something bigger. Because look at the Facebook group, 40,000 people in there. How often do you see one of them say, I wish I would have gotten a smaller one?
I've never seen that.
Never. But how often do you say, or hear people say, I wish I would have gotten one size up? All the time. And that's been my experience too. It's not unique to any one of us. It's just kind of like human nature. Once you realize that you could have spent like $1,200 more and gotten something that's a foot wider, in our mind, we don't think that really makes a difference. But after you experience it, you're like, yeah, it kind of does. Now, that comes at a cost if you're in a apartment or a condo where you just don't have the room, right? Some heat therapy is better than no heat therapy. That's why I always say just be sweating no matter how you can do it. I don't care if you have to do the $300 DIY sauna, do it, right? It's not a push to any particular model. But when you say what's the one sauna that I would buy and keep forever, my mind immediately goes to, well, what's my use case? What's my space? What's my climate? And you could flip everything I just said on its head. This is why I don't like the generic advice that sauna salespeople give. Because if you said I was gonna have to live in Maine for the next 6 years, and we don't have a basement gym, we've got a one-bedroom place, and the sauna is going to have to be outside, I'm not picking anything that I just told you. Yep. It's too cold. It was 20 below zero last week, right? I'm waiting for snow accumulation so we can go snowmobiling.
20 below.
Insert snowmobile picture here, editor. That's why anytime somebody says, hey Matt, what's the best brand? Well, it's like, well, what's the best brand for what? I don't like this generic stuff that leads you down some rabbit hole just because people say something's popular on social media. Well, popular for who? For whose needs, for what use case, right? You know what I mean? So for me personally, I have access to anything that I want. I've tried tons of stuff. If we're talking outdoor, I'm gonna go with something that's a little more high powered. I'm probably gonna go with a combo hybrid sauna if I can get it, infrared and traditional. That way, if the damn thing's got snow on top of it and it's 0 degrees, we got a little more power on tap. I'm gonna put a 30 or 40 amp service out there. I wanna make sure it can overcome the elements, has like an actual weatherproof roof. Not any of this stupid stuff you see on Amazon where they take an indoor sauna, put a Lexan roof on it, and the damn thing is like weathered to death in 2 years. People that know me today don't know my struggle years. If we're just talking about money or like, I probably could have just lived a quiet life and retired when I was 38 years old. I'm about to be 43. right? But that's just not my personality. You may not know that I lived in a studio apartment and lived on savings for a year just to do a career change, just because I felt called to do something else. Then I started to have health troubles and didn't have space for a sauna, or so I thought. If I knew what I knew now back then, the first thing that I would have done, because I didn't have money and I was in scarcity at the time, like I had money, but it was money that I saved to keep a roof over my head and to have food and stuff if work didn't go well. And none of my investments and stuff had come to fruition at this time, so I didn't have the security blanket of all that either. I mean, that makes a big difference in what we do today. I can take risks and not really feel it because we've got fallback options. So most people don't know that I wasn't always in that position. You know, there was times where things weren't going very well. Health was crippling, a lot of uncertainty in life, confidence low, you know what I mean? Just having a rough go. And we're not talking about anything to do with the leukemia. This was way before, it was 10 years before all that. Had I known what I know now back then, the first thing that I would say is what I always say in the videos. I should have just built a $300 DIY sauna because the investment is low. It wouldn't look pretty, but it would have worked. I just didn't know how. I didn't know you could build a $300 DIY sauna. I tried to build a DIY shower sauna. It just didn't work. It sucked. I couldn't build a sweat because I was missing the heat building portion, right? I just didn't know any better, and there was nothing online that would teach me to do any better. So I tried. The second thing I would have done is just get a cheap portable sauna tent. If that first option didn't work for me, if I didn't have the tools or the know-how or the gumption or the energy to build a DIY. I keep some of those on my Amazon profile. I don't recommend them long-term because they're not that great. They usually break within a couple of years, and you know the tent stains and it smells a little funny and all this, but it'll make you sweat, right? It'll let you try before you buy it on a large investment. The next thing I would have done is probably rearranged my furniture and just snuck in a mini sauna. You know, something like one of the mini saunas that are wood, because that would have given me the ability to get my head in. You know, the little zippy tents are fine, but if the DIY doesn't work, you can't have that big enough enclosure, I would have done something where I could get my whole body inside a little tiny, you know, thing. I know I about it today. I'm like, oh, I don't want to turn sideways and shimmy through a little door. But I didn't know that was an option, and a lot of those saunas just weren't made back then. Any of those that are like shorter height, less than a 3x3 footprint, because I could have gotten rid of an end table and stuck it next to a couch in a living room of a studio apartment. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but I would have had heat therapy in my house. You know, I could have done these things. It doesn't matter which brand, just like something really small that I could tuck into a space between like a little breakfast nook dining table and a couch in a studio apartment between the kitchen and the living room. Is it perfect in an ideal world? No, of course not. But I just didn't know any better, you know, back then. So it would have fast-tracked my health journey. And then I wouldn't have, but everything happens for a reason, right? I wouldn't have experienced going to rent sauna sessions at the float tank place and them not having access to a shower one day or a bunch of days. And I'm sitting in traffic, like core temperature still elevated, sweating on towels at a red light. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing to myself? You know, I'm happy that I did it because I didn't believe in sauna enough to go spend the money, which is why I didn't do any of those options, even though some of them weren't an option back then. But I wasn't like, the doctor was telling me to. You need to go buy a, whatchamacallit. I'm not going to spend $6,500 on this shit. I wasn't convinced. So I always tell people, the number one thing before you buy anything, if you have access to go rent a sauna session in an infrared sauna, go do that before you listen to anyone's bullshit. Because that'll give you boots on the ground, real world. Don't look at the spec sheet and all that. Just go try it. Go sweat in one. Because that did give me a lift, and it did do what she said, and that did turn me into, you know, an initial wanna be a believer. Hadn't really come full circle yet, but it made me go do the next step. Cemented in my mind, well, maybe there's something here, and these people are not totally full of shit. The industry was full of shit. All I came across was like bad messaging and lying spec sheets and blah, 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 blah. If it wasn't so difficult for me, I would have never like struggled with it as much. I wouldn't have had the motivation to create the videos. And then when I got the feedback from the people and they were like, hey, no one else talks about this like you do. Can you please do more? I was like, oh, maybe there's something here. Originally, I was just kind of like documenting my own health journey stuff because it's all I could do at the time. But sitting in traffic, sweating on towels in my car, that was like life-altering moment right there, because I was like, well, I'm getting the benefit. I'm spending $40 an hour to rent the sessions. So I'm starting to do math in my mind. I'm like, how many times a week am I going to do this? I could pay for one of these things and have it in my, like, even if it wasn't a great one. I was like, what am I doing? And now I'm in traffic, like really unhappy. I don't want to go back tomorrow because I don't want to experience this part. I just want the benefit. That is what got me to like really embrace and change. And yeah, heat therapy is legendary, man. It's precedes our time. We just didn't know any better. There's a reason why native people did sweat lodges and, you know, all types of primitive style saunas that we don't really consider as an option today. And I understand why. I mean, you really want a smoking tent in your backyard and the neighbors calling the fire, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not practical for majority of folks that live in the city. But man, it's definitely something there for everybody. It's not like you use a sauna once and your life changes, but a lot of times it leads to lifestyle shifts and people lose weight. You just feel better when you do it consistently. You can't exactly put your finger on what it is. There's tons of benefits, but really it's just supporting the body's natural systems that are already a little downregulated or impaired, and then just making you work better. So while this kind of took us in a different direction conversational-wise, I think it's good information and perspective for people. I think it's perspective that's difficult to find based on an industry that just wants to shove stuff down your throat. So for the best sauna that I would buy and keep forever, if it could just be one, hopefully I've given you enough use case scenarios and options to where you could just pick one of those and run with it. If I could tell anybody anything, it would just be just pick one, because you're going to waste years of your life in analysis paralysis doing this, and really just focus on, like, do I want to wait X amount of years to start, you know, experiencing better health benefits or whatever, because you'll never get the time back that you spend researching this. I did it for months and months and months and make excuses, and I'm telling you all in this video, it's not going to fit in my little apartment. But you guys have it easier than I had it now. You've got small saunas that'll fit next to a couch. You have the DIY course that I created because of that very situation. Nobody had that before. There's somebody making videos about putting a shelf in their shower and wrapping it in Mylar film. You know, back then, this was almost 10 years ago now, 2015, 2016, 2017. Nobody was going to Home Depot for me and cutting styrofoam out so that when I moved to a different apartment, I could make an insulated door to try and hold the heat in and get the stupid DIY thing to work better. This was trial and error for years and years. And then finally during COVID, I was like, we should make something for people that teaches them how to do this. And so we did. But at the end of the day, man, just be sweating.